Welcome back to our channel.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Dee.
And together we're Jody. So today we're coming to you with another topic that we find so interesting. We hope you find it as interesting. And if you do, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Today we're talking about how to decide who to marry. Now this, of course, is when you're in the dating process. We're already married, so we've decided. But here's a few principles and guidelines that we found helpful while we were dating.
Yeah. So, of course, disclaimer: we are not therapists or marriage counselors or anything like that.
Or any kind of professional.
Exactly. But we have been married for a year and a half, and we're actually pretty happy. So this is just some things that we think helped us to have such a great marriage that we have thus far.
Yeah, we share not only what worked for us, but some generalities, some things that other people might find helpful. And if nothing else, we hope you find this video enjoyable. Yeah.
So the number one thing when deciding who to marry is how compatible are you?
Yes.
Of course, we all want to marry someone who we find physically attractive.
Someone
we all want to marry somebody, someone who we love, maybe someone within a certain tax bracket. Okay, we got it. But how compatible are you with this person?
Yeah. You know, my wife used to look at me crazy when I used to tell her when we were dating, love is never enough. A lot of people say, oh, we got married for love. And that's great. That's wonderful. But there are other things that make the love stronger, and compatibility is one of them. Like, for instance, you don't have to have the same personality, but a personality that meshes well with the other person's personality. That's important. That makes you compatible. Things like how some of your life goals or how you view them. Like, say, for instance, you have a goal, you want to be, I don't know, a rock star. That doesn't mean I have to go into the music industry, but I at least have to be supportive of your goals and your dreams. I mean, that is, to me, that's hugely important, that you support your spouse's endeavors, whatever they are, I guess we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, too. But compatibility, what does it look like to you?
Okay, so there are some bullet points that we came up with to help with compatibility and to help you determine this. Do you have shared values? If you value honesty, if you value being a hard worker, if you value family, this person doesn't care about their family, even if they are around. If this person is lazy, if this person thinks lying is okay, but your values are honesty, being a hard worker, and family, that's not someone you're compatible with. You should probably not marry this person. So shared values.
You know what? One other shared value is religion. This girl I was dating before you, I thought, we were going to be pretty serious, but she kept bringing up that issue of difference of religion. And one thing she asked me is, well, if we're different religions, what religion will our child be? And I said, well, it'll be my religion, of course. She was like, nope, they'll be my religion. So that was, that basically ended our relationship. So you'd be surprised what's important. And that comes with communication. Like, you can't assume that we're on the same page.
Definitely.
You have to listen. What is important to you? Let me tell you what's important to me.
I agree with the shared religion. Speaking personally, Joe and I are the same religion, and so whenever we have problems or issues, we both look to the Bible to help us, Bible principles.
Without any second thought.
And so if you are a religious person, or you do believe in the Bible, but you marry someone who doesn't, that might cause issues, because you look to the Bible for help, for guidance, and this person just sees it as maybe like another book. So that might cause some problems in your relationship.
What's next?
Also, something else to think about are shared concepts on childbearing, or even if you want to have children. I mean, that's a major shift in your life. going from just the two of you as a family to adding a little person.
Yeah.
So, do you want to have kids? Do you not? I mean, me personally, and a lot of people looked at me like, huh? Why would you do that? You will run him away. But I don't care. If you run, then keep running. I told Joe from the beginning, I do not want any children. So if you want children, I'm not the woman who you should date. Yeah. And so people, you have to be honest about what you want, what your desires are. That does not mean that every man or woman is going to agree with it. But you need to let that person know from the beginning. It's best to just be honest with what your expectations are, wants are. So, do you want to have kids? Do you not? If that person says no, and you really want to have kids, I would advise against it.
Because the facts of the matter are, most people don't change their mind on something that big, you know. And even when they compromise, there's some maybe even resentment, some, you know, I wish I hadn't have, you know. So, you know, that's a subject that requires communication, open and honest communication, like so many other things that we've talked about. You know, you must talk it out, you know, before you know, walk down the aisle. Because if, and even, like you said, share concepts on raising children. If you both decide you want children, then, you know, how are we going to raise them? How are we going to discipline them? What kind of school?
Or should we discipline them?
Or, you know.
Because some parents don't believe in disciplining, so.
That's true. And you know where we're gonna live, you know, that's best.
Oh, that's another one.
Our kids,
Not even just supporting the kid, but just in general, where are we gonna live?
Yeah.
Some people don't talk about, are we gonna live in a smaller city? Do I like the small town life, or do I want the larger city life? Yeah. If you're a guy who loves living in LA, you like all the things that LA has to offer. You meet a girl, she's from, I don't know, small town Georgia. Yeah. And she wants to stay there. That's probably not the move.
But at the same time, you know, when you're making these decisions, there is room for compromise.
That's true too.
But the compromise has to be not where it's going to leave ill feelings. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter if I compromise 90% on this issue and you compromised only 10%. If it makes us both happy, that's fine. You know what I mean? But if I compromise 90% and you only compromise 10, and I'm like, I'm always giving in, it's going to create resentment. You're going to start. And that's how you erode love. And that's
it's true. Yeah,
something you want to consider before marriage. What you got next?
So true. Things could be shared interests.
Oh, yeah.
That's not to say that you have to have everything in common, because I don't think any two humans have everything in common. But you should have enough in common where you can talk to this person, spend time with this person. And again, this is probably the thing for us because our number one love language is quality time. Yeah. So there might be some couples who don't have shared interests and you're okay. Even though I can't really imagine that, because if you don't have shared interests, then what's the bonding? What bonds you? How do you spend time together?
Well, here's what I would say about that. You have to have enough shared interests where you can, you know, be friends. And I mean, because literally that's all dating is about, shared interests. Hey, let's go to see this movie. Let's go to this restaurant. Let's go to this concert. Let's go do this or that. You know what I mean? So you got to have some shared interests. You have to have enough shared interests where you can, you know, at least build a relationship of some sort. You know? But you, like you said, you don't have to have everything in common. Like, oh, I love Pokemon. You love Pokemon. I love going to concerts. You love going to concerts. Oh, this is that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it will rarely happen that way, you know. But
just enough to actually spend time together and build a bond. So another topic, another area, which is the number one reason why a lot of people get divorces, and that is finances. You and your spouse have to have the same goals as far as finances, and think similarly, if not the same, in regards to finances. So you should agree on whether you guys will just keep your money all together, just have a joint account, two separates, or a joint and two separates. So Joe and I have a joint for our household expenses, and two separates. However, the way Joe and I spend money is completely different, which is why we have two different bank accounts for like our personal needs, wants, what have you.
Yeah, but the main thing is also too, you want to be accomplishing financial goals together. You know, you may be like in our situation. You know, you make more money than I make, so of course, not everything is always going to be 50-50, but we do find a meeting in the middle that makes sense according to our finances, because you know we're not independently wealthy yet, you know.
I would love
so
to
we got to you know make some concessions and some decisions that perhaps other people don't make. But as long as when you have to get to a place, and for some couples that does not happen before marriage. That only and in most cases that's going to happen, you know, after you're married, after you've been in a routine together. But when you're dating, in the dating stage, before you get married, you want to at least talk about it and get an idea of where each person is.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about, you know, like for instance, what we talked about. Do you think that because you're the man, you have to control the finances? Or do you think that whoever's better with money should control the finances, you know? So, in that regard, it became goals over roles for us. You know? You're better with money. You have more experience in building good credit, making better decisions. Because I feel like money is there to spend, and just let's spend it. You know, and you're like, no, we need to put some away. So this is a conversation that you have to have. But the actual putting it into act is not. It's not going to happen until you're married. But you at least want to know going into marriage, okay, how does this person view money? You know? What are their ideals about money?
Yeah.
Because everybody was raised differently.
Oh, definitely.
That's
so
just the bottom line.
Yeah. So I think that it's good to know all of these things, and then you can make your own decision from here on out. Some people decide, if we don't make the same, then we can't be together, and that's completely fine if that's what you decide. Yeah. Each individual person has to decide like what is best for them. Personally, I don't really care about making more than my spouse or my spouse making more than me. I don't really care either way. I just want everybody to contribute to the household the best way they can and to have the kind of jobs that they like, to be quite honest, because I mean, let's face it, we have to work quite frequently, so I just want each person to like what they, what is that they're doing. Yeah. Also, I would say that there's room for growth. It depends upon the person who you're with, because some people are open to learning different things. I know that Joe was pretty open to learning things about, like how to build credit. We both believe in talking to your bankers. Oftentimes, bankers where you bank, they're knowledgeable about what you should do. They see your account once they pull things up. They can kind of give you an idea about where you should go. You should also be very honest about the debts that you have with someone when you get married, if you have any debt. So take that into consideration as well. I don't think that anything in regards to finances should be hidden or kept secret, whether it be good or bad. It's best to give that person the opportunity to know what your true financial picture really is like. So like for me, I'm a registered nurse. It's common for people to have student loans, and unfortunately, I'm in the lump. So I let Joe know, like, hey, just so you know, I have student loans. Yeah. Hey, just so you know, I didn't pay my car off yet. I mean, of course, I pay my car note on a regular basis, but just letting them know what's going on, because he had already paid for his car. His car was paid for. So just, being honest about your finances.
And all of these points that we talked about, the number one key to it all is open and honest communication. Because that is the lifeblood of any relationship.
Exactly.
If you don't have it, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
So when deciding who to marry, these are some bullet points that Just a few, not all of them.
Yeah.
But some things that we found to be helpful, and hopefully you will find as well. But that open and honest communication makes all of those things work.
Exactly, yeah.
Makes all of those things work, because if you're not talking to each other about how you truly feel and not being open and honest, then it's going to lead to problems later on.
Exactly. And if you're watching this and you're dating, if you can't be open and honest while you're dating, I don't see how that's going to change when you get married. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that, for the most part, how your relationship is while you're dating is how it's going to be when you get married. Now, of course, there are some things that will change because now you live with this person, you know this person better now. You're seeing them on a consistent basis, hours at a time versus 2 hours here and there when you were dating. So some things will change, but for the most part, it will pretty much look very similar to how you're dating.
Okay, so I enjoyed this. I hope you all enjoy it as much as we did. Hope you find it helpful. And if you do, like we said in the beginning, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
And for those of you guys who are watching who are already married, those who are already married, comment down below. Leave some even more suggestions about things that you think couples who are dating or people who are single but would like to get married, things that they should look for in a mate.
All right. Thanks a lot, America. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, guys.